Why is it that Cardano has grabbed hold of the attention of millions of us? Do you know that they are 7 years into planning and development and still don't even have smart contracts on their mainnet as a platform that is a smart contract platform? Do you want to know something even more interesting than that? We don't even care, do we? I mean, sure, kind of we do. In that it's not that we're ignoring the fact that the critics try to bring that up as their last-ditch neg that they try to use to attack Cardano's ecosystem, but because of the transparency and down-to-earth approach of Charles Hoskinson, we just know it is still on track, coming together, and that though Charles took the slow but significant route to develop a strong infrastructure, we believe that it's going to be far better. Can I share a story with you? Okay, did you know that in the US and Canada, they have road building tech down to an art? That if they dig down and build all the different layers to the road, going down sometimes 4 to 6 feet down, sometimes even 10 feet down, that road is built and lasts 10 to 20 to 50 times longer than what we normally get. Yet they almost never go that route. So why? Well, the quick route gets more immediate results, and the slow route is more expensive, takes way longer, but it does build something that lasts. Isn't this really what Charles did? Isn't this really why Cardano retraced less than almost anything in the crypto space during this pullback? See, smart contracts are coming in August, perhaps September, who knows, things get delayed. So my thought process is this. Okay, I love Cardano. It's one of my favorite ecosystems. I love that he took the slow, difficult, but strong approach that he did. I've been a big holder of Cardano. I remember when 2 years ago, there was one project that they released a whole bunch of FUD trying to FUD Cardano, probably because they saw it as a viable threat. I don't know, but I remember everyone attacking those who were believers in Cardano when the price was 1.7 cents to 2.5 cents, saying, oh, that's terrible. And this other project had gotten somehow in the top 10 in coin market cap. And Cardano was just way down there, going through the hard parts of delays and other things because they were building it right. And I never lost faith in that. In fact, I bought more and I didn't care what they were saying. Have you ever been in that position? And it's funny. And people think, oh, it's hard to be a supporter there. No. I mean, you did look at the value and say, am I missing something? Nah, their arguments don't hold water. I don't feel like I am missing something. So as an investor now, Cardano has been great return. And from here, Cardano could still do pretty well. But I ask myself which projects are going to get a huge boost by building on the ADA ecosystem that might even be building now. Also, which existing projects out there might get an extra boost by moving to the ADA ecosystem. Now, some of these things we don't know yet, but did you notice that the first 3 projects that launched on the CardStarter launchpad related to ADA did incredibly high gains right out of their IDOs? So I'm looking at what is coming in the future, as well as what may have come out before that is nicely retracing, that may benefit by moving to the Cardano ecosystem and get that big bump because the Cardano ecosystem and the loyalty there is so strong. This is the new frontier of crypto, these ecosystem projects launching on Cardano, and even many of the other top tier 3rd generation blockchains are out there creating these ecosystems. But like the Wild West, gains can be tremendous and the risk is high. So do exercise caution and judgment. For the most part, I'm a value investor. I look for strong fundamentals and I hold. I do sell when profits are up, so I do have my take profit strategy, but I'm a swing trader, meaning I hold for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 24 months. Depends on the timing and what seems to make sense. But as these ecosystems take off and Cardano's ecosystem is about to really come together, I sometimes make some of the purchases when the fundamentals on these projects within the ecosystem aren't as strong because of the right time, right place. Though I will always take a strong project with fundamentals over a weak one if both are in the right timing and right place. So as I cover some of these projects, I'll tell you whether I think it's just a right time, right place, or right time, right place and fundamentals are strong. So I want to share with you some of the projects on my radar that I wish I knew more about which projects are migrating over to Cardano. Obviously, Cody, currency of the internet, has been a big player in the Cardano ecosystem. They've announced months ago their partnership, and that's been a strength to them, and we haven't even seen their stuff come out on Cardano as far as all that they're building there. We just know that they are, but I think more existing projects will benefit from that strength. We just don't yet know who they are, but some of the projects up and coming that are on my radar is Iagon, and I've talked about them before. Spores is one I haven't talked about because I just recently learned of them, and let me share with you on them. Obviously, I have Cardano's chart up here, but Spores is really interesting. They're going to be launching on CardStarter, which is, there's two main launch pads on Cardano right now, and that's OCamFi as well as CardStarter, and everything that's launched on CardStarter has done tremendously. And I believe Spores just announced that they will be launching on CardStarter. So I'm looking at this. Now, if you're not able to get into CardStarter in those launches, sometimes when things launch on them, sometimes buying right away has worked out and things then appreciate after that, but sometimes you're looking for that nice retrace to buy. But pretty much everything that has launched on them has done tremendous, and I imagine Spores that's coming out will be no different. So just want to put that on your radar. This isn't a full coverage on Spores, just kind of an awareness. I've talked about before Matrix Swap that is launching on them. This is a Cardano essentially swap project that'll be cross-chain compatible between Cardano and Polkadot. That'll be incredible. But you see, this is the future of where things are going, is these new ecosystems come into existence, these projects that create and set it up so that things just transfer between the DOT ecosystem and Cardano ecosystem and Ethereum ecosystem are going to have huge, huge advantages. So I invite you to take a look at Spores. It's spores.app, spores.app. You know, some of my contacts behind the scenes really, really hot on this one. As I was looking at it, totally made sense to me as why. You've probably seen Iagon, but this is them right here, iagon.com. So essentially, cloud, you can decentralize your cloud storage through Iagon, so you can get paid to store other people's data, and you can pay to have your data stored and backed up on the cloud, which is essentially backed up on other people, little bits and pieces on other people's computers, secured through cryptographical encryption. So it's not like they can access your data, but it just decentralizes cloud computing so that little fractions are stored all over the place on different people's computers, but still will be accessible quickly for you. It's a great way blockchain really brings efficiencies in. So hot on my mind is, okay, from here, I think Cardano will do well. In fact, let's look at that, Cardano's price. We see, like back here when all the FUD was happening way back here, and it was ridiculously inexpensive. It's already done some tremendous gains. So how far can it go here? From here, now, if you haven't checked out my video on why I think Cardano can hit $30, you'll see it pop across the top of the screen. I'll put up the link to that, and maybe at the very end you can also get that link. I do think that briefly, if ever so briefly, it can hit $30. I don't have a magic crystal ball to know for sure if it will, but when we have that blow off top during the bull run, when things go absolutely parabolic, do note I am absolutely taking profits during that time. I do not continue to hold even though it's so euphoric. I've learned over time that that is where I take my profits. Now, we did see the run up to $2, almost 50 cents, and we saw a pullback down to the 61.8, and it's funny how perfectly it touched that line. And it's bounced up and trading between $1.30 to, it almost went to $1.50. And so we're in this nice pullback period where there's some good acquisition. People ask, how far can it go up from here? Well, possibly it could go up to this Fibonacci extension level of the 1.272 in the coming 3 months. And I think as we get close to smart contracts, so what's that, a 3x gain? You know, if it goes up to 630, you know, that's a little over 3x. In fact, that's a 4x something gain. That's pretty nice returns, right? But the reason I like things like Iagon and Spores and Matrix Swap is that they're higher risk, but they're higher potential return, and it does have everything to do with what your buy price is. And because these haven't launched, we don't know what the available buy price will be, so it is important to buy them well. But from the IDO price, if you're able to get into that initial DEX offering, Spores will be launching on Card Starter. Iagon will be launching through OCamFi, which is another Cardano launchpad. Matrix Swap, I can't remember where it's launching from. It might be Card Starter or OCamFi. I think one of those two, but I think it is coming through a launchpad. All of these might see huge initial gains. So if you're already on those launchpads and participating in them, it gives you a chance to get it at the IDO price. If not, sometimes you're able to get in very early and it goes up from there. If you miss that initial buy price, sometimes they go crazy. You do not want to buy the top because sometimes that pump will go 200x. I don't know, in this market, maybe not 200x right out of the gate. Nothing's really hitting that because of this pullback. But if these launch sometime soon, before our market really heats up again, you might be able to get some good deals. But do watch that buy price. The reason I'm interested in these projects is because their total market cap's still so low. They have room and potential to go 50x or 100x gains. And so as an investor myself, I put part of my portfolio in what I consider the more stable projects like Cardano. But I do reserve a portion of my funds for these higher risk, high potential returns. But I don't go all in on these things because, number one, who knows what kind of buy price I can get when it comes out. But, you know, how good you buy determines how good of an investment you really did make. Even if the project's got amazing fundamentals, if you buy too high, then you have to wait a long time before you get that return. So not knowing the buy price on this, we'll have to see how that is. But I wanted to let you know that I think Cardano's got amazing prospects. I think the Cardano ecosystem has incredible prospects. And so I'm looking for these good pickups within the Cardano ecosystem on projects with the solid teams, good tokenomics, and good project. Like, there's going to be a need for what they're offering for my investment dollars, so I can hopefully get in on some of the 50x or 100x gains. And you know, even though Cardano, if you do watch my video from here, you know, if it goes all the way to $30, that's a 20x, and that's fantastic. But that is if. I don't know that it will go to $30. I just suspect it will when we have our blow off top, which I think will come later this year or early next. And things will go absolutely crazy to numbers they probably shouldn't ever go, and yet they still will. And some people say $30, it just isn't possible. Well, Ripple in 2017 hit a total market cap of $150 billion. And I don't think its use case is near as strong as Cardano's use case, and that was 4 years ago. So I think many things this cycle will hit numbers. Now, some people say, oh my gosh, that's above Bitcoin's market cap. Well, it's above Bitcoin's market cap right now, but when we hit that blow off top, do you think Bitcoin's market cap is still going to be where it's at today? If so, you're not grabbing the whole picture of how this goes. As that tide rises, Bitcoin's market cap could be $3 trillion or $2.5 trillion. So at that point, Cardano would be hitting 1/3 or, 40% of Bitcoin's market cap. And could it hit that? It could, because these projects, these large alt caps that have significant use cases, are cutting further and further into Bitcoin's overall market share. It used to be Bitcoin was the only project that had a solid use case, and that's becoming less the case. More of these projects, as they've expanded their ecosystem, their use cases are solid and they're getting mass adoption as well as big community support. And so their market caps can hit really big numbers. Do I think Cardano would be worth $30? Well, I think as projects go crazy or as prices go crazy, what happens is FOMO, fear of missing out, and the tokens of successful projects hit prices they should never hit. Do you think Tesla, as much as I like the company, I like their cars, in last year that their stock price should have 7x'd? It should not have, and yet it did. So do I think valuations are always accurate? No, we tend to overboom and then overbust. And it's happened every cycle, every 4 years for the past 2 cycles. And I think this cycle will be more of the same. And I'm looking forward to that because I'll be taking profits. Now, likely you're in this space because you're an investor and you're here because you're looking for life-changing gains And I talk a lot about how that can happen. I can't give you financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. With that said, I'm an investor myself. I'm here for the life-changing gains that crypto can bring. I can share with you that over 2 cycles, those life-changing gains happen for me, and I do believe it can happen for many of you, but it depends on what kind of choices that you're making. Depends on where you're buying in at, what kind of prices you're buying in at. So you're most tempted to buy when you've already seen massive gains on a project. When it's already gone 15 or 20x, I call that chasing green candles. I don't chase green candles. I look for good retracements. I buy then. And when we see large green candles, that's when I'm taking profits. And following these metrics has led me to life-changing wealth. Of course, I'm still keeping a lot of that in crypto. It's not like I've cashed it all out and I have it sitting in the bank and I'm spending that. I've actually set aside enough funds to be able to quit my day job so I can give full time, not only to the YouTube channel, but to my own investments as an investor myself. And so that I can deliver more value to you because I'm able to go full time in crypto and grow my contacts and connections with a lot of projects behind the scenes so I can continue to deliver top-notch information to you as an investor on what I understand that's happening in the marketplace. Now, I appreciate many of you who have joined my Telegram channel because I can't keep my eyes on everything. There's some very sharp people in there that bring things to my attention. I very much appreciate that, especially when they tell me what project they really like and they give me a long description of what they like about it. That really helps me too because I can't be everything. And so I'm glad we've been able to create this good community on Telegram. The link is below. If you click on the YouTube video and you click on see more, you can see the link there to the Telegram channel. Join us. Do know I don't tolerate any kind of scams or spam on there. I will just delete you, remove you, or my admins will. Also know if, whether it's on this YouTube channel in the comments below or in the Telegram chat, people will try to take your money. They will hit you up to call some WhatsApp phone number and they will ask you for some kind of funds and they'll try to verify it, whatever. Those are always scams. There are so many people in this space looking to take your money. Yeah, so I'm not going to reach out to you and ask you to send me some kind of money. That is never going to happen. So if you see somebody pretending to be me, telling you to call a WhatsApp number, that is not me. Also, my admins aren't going to ask you for money. It just doesn't work that way. I want you to keep your money invested and growing. At some point, we will open up YouTube memberships that you can become a member and get some added perks and benefits with those if you want to. If not, like Telegram's free. We're creating a Discord so you can continue to integrate with us. The YouTube memberships will come with some higher levels of Discord access. And that just allows me to continue to pay my admins and other infrastructure needs, because that money allows me to reinvest in delivering more value to you. So that will be the only way that I ask for money from you is if you want to get a YouTube membership, which isn't yet available. It will be coming soon. I just want to make sure I finish out the details, so I make sure that if you do that, you feel like you get way more value than you pay for, and that allows me to continue to hire admins to help behind the scenes make things as smooth and as good for you. And that's the only way that I'll be asking for money from you, because I don't need your money. I've made mine. I'm here to offer value to you so that you can have the same kind of life-changing wealth. Now, truthfully, if this is your first cycle, the chances that you're going to achieve life-changing wealth in one cycle, it could happen. It does happen sometimes. Just know that over 2 cycles, you can have a much better chance at really achieving it. And what do I call life-changing wealth? I call really big gains that you then roll into some different assets that can create residual income for you. That's life-changing wealth, because if you make $1 million, but then you spend 30% paying taxes, and then you spend $600,000 buying a house, you don't have that life-changing wealth anymore. It is good to have a house paid off, but you're gonna have to pay property tax on that house. So the way I think of life-changing wealth is making enough to be able to invest that into some passive income assets that replace your day-to-day income. So imagine if the $2,000 or $4,000 or $10,000 or $1,000 you make a monthly, you have enough passive income created through the investment assets that gave you good gains that you then put into some passive assets that provide you enough monthly income that your total income comes in through that. Then if you have a boss, You know, you can develop an eye problem, the eye problem of I never want to come into that job ever again. You have those kind of choices, or maybe you love what you do and you don't have to, but your finances are taken care of. I do recommend strongly that you always find something that you can be actively engaged in, because I've seen a lot of people retire and actually they die of a heart attack 2 years later because they don't have something they enjoy doing, and honestly, retirement can get boring. So I don't recommend retiring in the sense of not working ever again. I recommend you find what you are passionate about and work in that. It's not even work anymore, it becomes play. But you have to have something. As human beings, we need something to keep our mind focused on. And that's been fun. I was able to quit the day job and focus 100% on crypto, which I enjoy. It's not much work to me. It's a little bit of work and a lot of fun, so I enjoy that part of it. I do thank all of you for joining me, giving your time and attention. If you haven't joined the Telegram, would love it if you do, because it's such a great community. Don't feel like you have to. If I'm adding value to you, I mean, subscribe to the channel, hit all the notification or the all notification button, as well as like the videos. When you do that, I really appreciate it. It helps me grow and have better reach into the different projects out there, so I can bring you better and better information. When I share with them, you know, the first thing they ask me is, what's the stats on your YouTube? I mean, how many likes are you getting per video? What's your total subscriber numbers? How much stuff? And so that's before they put me in contact with the CEO. So every time you like my videos, every time when you subscribe and your friends subscribe, that helps me get better reach to then be able to bring you better information. And hopefully you've enjoyed the value I've been bringing. Love the interview from a week ago with the CEO of OneChain, one of my favorite projects out there. Talk about it a lot because I feel like the price is so undervalued versus the technology that they bring to the table. And so you all helped make that happen. That was one of our goals from the beginning of this channel. Was OneChain was one of the projects I followed for many years, and I wanted to have access into their team. You know, because of the channel, about 4 months ago, I got access into their team and recently had an interview with their CEO. And that's the type of information context I'm talking about, because the more I'm able to make those contacts, I bring you better information, especially that information that I most wanted as an investor, which I wasn't getting when I just was an investor and didn't have a YouTube channel. That's the information that they can talk about, but you don't know it because you don't know the team. And so like some of the insiders know about it. It's not information that can't be shared. You just don't know about it until all of a sudden it's hit public awareness already, and all of a sudden the price is 200. It went up 200% or a 2x, and you missed it because you didn't know that information earlier. So for me as an investor, I knew that there was value in getting to know that all the different teams on all the major projects and getting that information early. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. I'm going to send it over to Manuela, who created this song, for all you rainmakers. Rainmakers are those who subscribe to the channel. They commit to the 5 years. This cycle, staying here during the bear market that follows this bull run, because surely we'll have another one of those, and then a following bull market. And within that time frame, the chances go way, way up if you commit to that 5 years that you can achieve life-changing wealth. All right, thanks for joining us. We will see you soon. Manuela, take it away.
Success is falling, flowing like rain. The timing's right, we're getting paid. Come on, rainmakers, let's make this happen.